Hello?
King and queen of
Okay,
technical
it should be better now
difficulty.
because like the OBS usually just like set it to the default setting.
The desktop audio.
Yeah. I
Ken's, I'm
think
a
you
mod
should
in
be
your
able to
chat,
hear
so-
me.
I'm a mod in his chat as well.
Everyone's a
Hello.
mod.
Hello.
Yeah, well, they can
Can
hear
you
now.
hear us
They can
now?
hear now. Yeah.
Ah,
Hi,
perfect.
Fluffy.
Okay.
Go
So
ahead, Ken.
today's topic is gonna be cheating / infidelity.
Ooh.
Right here. So like this topic was like inspired, I guess, from one of like this like animation video that I watched. It was like kind of interesting, and I'm just gonna set up. We're gonna talk about what is cheating, what isn't cheating, and the different types of cheating that that could happen in a relationship.
Yeah.
And like yeah. And pretty much like we're gonna just play this little game first, and then we're gonna talk about it individually each case scenario, or we can talk about it at the end after this.
I
Whatever.
wonder how our opinions are gonna differ on this.
Oh, I'm
Probably.
excited.
That's
for
why I
this.
want. That's why I want like multiple people from like different backgrounds, I guess, to come in a relationship.
I'm very strongly opinionated on this, but
Okay.
So am I.
Okay. Shoot, maybe I should ask some like conference, like someone that's like chaotic. Fluffy, do you want to join in? Fluffy, do you want to join in?
We're missing one spot.
It's 4 a.m. Hello.
Okay.
Those are some wise man hours.
Yeah, he's vibing at 4 a.m.
So okay, I'm gonna throw five. I think it's six different scenarios at you,
Okay.
Okay.
and then you gotta rate from 1 to 5. One being
what?
sus,
Okay.
Sus.
and 5 is being straight up cheating.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
Oh, okay.
I get you.
Yeah, okay.
Are we ready?
Oh god. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry. It's gonna start off really like simple, really easy. Nothing.
Right.
It'll
And
get
in what
worse.
order do you want us what order do you want us to answer in?
Just whoever. Like just whoever wants to speak first, and then anyone that wants to follow.
Okay.
No
Okay.
particular order.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I guess the first time cheating, I'm gonna put it up. Scenario 1. Somebody like your partner liking somebody's Instagram picture.
Like one, I don't think I don't think it's a big deal.
It just depends on the
It depends on
context.
the context.
How-
Of it.
Depends on the context.
How does it depend on the context?
If it's like I like me and Sean are both like random people's Instagram
Yeah.
pictures. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're romantically interested in someone. Like it like I said, it does depend on the context. It's like is it like a nude? Is it a lewd?
I don't even think it's that. You can like someone being like body positive about themselves. I think it's down to is it an ex or not as well.
If it's someone you know personally,
If you
or
know that your partner's had history with them, then you would kind of be like, But honestly, like if I went and I liked if I like Fluffy's picture on Instagram, I'll take Fluffy as an example. It's like Karen's
Wait,
not
is
going to
Fluffy
be
hot?
like, why are
I never
you
seen
liking
Fluffy. Sorry, go on.
Why are you liking Fluffy's Instagram picture? Karen wouldn't say that
Yeah.
because, he like there's a trust in a relationship. Like he knows where my mind's at, I know where his mind's at. So I think it's down to how trusting your relationship is as well. But again, like Karen said, it's all down to
I think if it's like an ex, if it's an
Yeah.
ex,
I
then
think it
it
comes
should be
down
fine.
to a lot about trust, to be honest.
Yes,
Personally,
basically.
I would say no, but it's completely about context. I can agree with that. I've several things going on in life at the moment, including this is one of the issues actually with a relative with mine.
Oh.
So I'm not going to go into too much detail, but in
Yeah.
this case, the significant other had been meeting up with this other person outside of the relationship, which my family relative did not know of at first, but then found out about. And of course, the significant other says there's nothing to be there. It's fine. It's just we're friends. Of course, my relative says I don't really like you doing this, and it becomes this whole thing about trusting them not to cheat on him.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
personally, it's definitely about context.
I think in relation to what you said there as well, like the person saying, like, I would rather you not do that. Like, you should be able to understand what your partner is comfortable with as well. And if they don't like you, like, it depends on the intensity of it as well. Like, it can come, like, you don't want to be controlling either. But if there's a specific person that you're a bit sensitive to, and your partner's liking their photos, you know, you might look. I don't really like you liking their photos and stuff. Like, for me, it's just kind of, you know,
Mhm.
uncomfortable, and I'd rather you not. Like, I don't care about anyone else, but just like, you know, like,
Yeah.
I think you need to respect, if you care and there's trust and there's love in the relationship. Like, on one side, you should be able to ask your partner not to do that, but on the other side, do you really need to if you trust each other?
But that's exactly my point, because
Yeah.
my relative has some trust issues regarding these things.
Yeah.
Personally, I feel that I trust my significant other enough to let her just know, fuck off. If she wants to like some uh, really photogenic men on Twitter or Instagram, honestly, I don't really give a shit, to be honest. Because I mean, I do the same on my Twitter and stuff like that.
Is it like the same idea as like you having a crush on a celebrity kind of thing? Is it the same?
Yeah.
Exactly. So it depends completely also on
But
the
Spicy, would it
person
be
that
like
you are liking.
a question for you? Like, let's say like Shauna uploaded a picture to Twitter, and it's like, oh, it's like a go live notification, or maybe it was just Shauna posting the picture she usually does. Like, if you liked that photo, what would your
Hmm.
girlfriend be upset by that, or how do you think she, like, what way do you think she would be in that sort of scenario? Because obviously Shauna's your friend, like Shauna's married, and you're also in a relationship. But do you think like your girlfriend would be like,
Insecure about it.
who's this, and why are you liking their photos, or do you or would she not give a shit?
Great question. So personally, of course, I can't speak for her. I can
Yeah.
just speak from my experience with her.
Yeah.
She already knows that I'm in this community, and she knows that I'm around here a lot, and I do help moderate. So of course, she knows I have to be active in the community.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't have a problem in case Shauna did upload a photo that she thought, oh, that looks a bit odd, you know, that looks a bit too like sexy, you know, and I happen
But
to
I
like
think
it
it's
regarding
like,
a notif.
it's like, but you can be supportive of your friend being confident and, you know, like, wanting
Yeah,
to show
exactly.
themselves. Like, it doesn't have to be from a sexual standpoint. It can be from a, oh, look, they look lovely, like, and I'm happy for my friend feeling positive about themselves, you know, like, I think if you have the insecurity of, like, oh yeah, oh, they're definitely liking that because they think, you know, oh, like, they just find her very attractive or whatever, like, that's the wrong mentality to have, and you need to, like, self-check with yourself, because, like, newsflash, men and women can exist and have friendships and not have it be like,
Sexual or
yeah, anything that's not, you know,
Oh,
I
I'm
don't
the
know.
definition of that.
Yeah,
I'll get
exactly.
into
Like,
that later if it comes up. But
you're friends with me, you're friends with Red. Like, there's, you know, like,
oh, I'm
it's
living
not.
with a female friend also.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
really?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Anyways, if I had to put a point on this, like you said, Ken's 1 to 5, I put this at I put it as a 1 for me, but like I said, it depends on the context
Yeah,
of
one
the
Okay.
for me
situation.
too. One for me.
I'll say 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 1 on this one.
I think it's just a mutual trust between you and your partner, and like what, yeah, it mostly depends on what you agree on. Like, if this is like cheating, if it's not cheating, if it's more than that, I guess.
Yeah.
Plus, I think it depends if the person in the relationship who's liking the photos has had a reputation in the past of doing this before, and I
Yeah.
think, you know, if there's liking a picture is one thing, but commenting
Oh.
is a whole different
How's it
ballgame.
different?
More
I don't
than,
know anything about this.
like,
Commenting,
okay.
that's subjective too. I mean, the whole question is very subjective.
It's very
Commenting, like,
open-ended. It's
it
very
depends
open-ended on
Everything
on
purpose.
what's
context.
inside of the comments, to be honest.
The moral of the story here is context is everything.
Context is key.
It is. I just left it very open to see where it goes.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Okay,
Hmm.
let's move on. Next question.
Scenario number
Question
2.
2. texting someone frequently, and when asked is when asked, she tells you there's nothing. I think I mistyped that, but yeah.
Texting someone
Ooh,
frequently
yeah.
when asked, they pretty much say, also, if you confront them saying, who's this you're texting, they're like, oh, it's no one.
Yeah,
But
pretty
they're like
much.
texting
I don't like
no one.
that. Honestly, personally, I'm gonna say right off that I don't like that.
Because
It's
honesty is
it's
this is where honesty comes
yeah,
into play.
honestly, because if let's say if I'm texting someone and I say nothing, I'm gonna come off as suspicious, as if I'm hiding
Yeah.
something,
Exactly.
and
Well,
it's gonna be like that no matter who it is.
well, like there's times where we're sitting here and then Karen's on his phone and I'm like, who are you messaging? He's like, no one. He says that, right? He's like,
Call out.
Most of the
he's
time,
like, no. He's like,
Oh no.
no one. And I'm like, what you mean? Like, who? And he's like, no one. And then I know it's Alex because he goes, look, it's he follows it up, but it's just Alex. I'm just like,
friend,
"It's my friend."
my friend from the UK.
So like like Karen doesn't say that in a like a hidey way. Like,
Yeah, to be fair, like when I say, if Sean has messaged me and if Sean is asking me, oh, who am I messaging, and I say, oh, no one, that's me saying it's none of our friends. I'm essentially saying it's like
There's nobody.
Yeah.
He's a nobody.
it's like
You don't care
he's a
about
friend
him.
of mine.
But that's what I mean. So the whole thing with that is by you saying no one, that creates suspicion or curiosity in this case.
But this
No,
comes from
not
consistency
really,
too. It's
or-
consistent.
No, but listen, right? The thing is, me and Karen, like, we're together 6 years now. And we always knew from the bat that, like, we were each other's person, you know, like, he was my soulmate, I was his. Yeah, I know, cheese. But we just have this, like, really high level of trust anyway. We've never broken each other's trust once in our 6 years. Like, we've no reason to. We're very honest with each other. And, like, I don't have to doubt anything with Karen. There's no second thoughts, there's no paranoia. You know, I don't like that's why when Karen says it to me, like I can just peer over your shoulder and I can just see like he's texting Alex because that's the only person
Yeah,
that really talks
I
to me.
guess the key thing here is it's not like I try and hide it either. You know,
No.
if Shauna wants to look, Shauna can look. I'm not gonna like hide my phone and be like, it's
Fair.
no one. What are you doing? Go away.
I just
Well,
like,
exactly,
we just
but
have never been like that. We just it's weird. I just never ever have any paranoia with him because I can put my complete trust in him. I'm not like second guessing anything when it comes to
Oh,
him.
thanks, Shauna.
no, that's
On the
fair.
other-
That's fair. But that's
on
also
the-
your relationship in the sense between you two. If you
Yeah.
put yourself in the shoes of somebody that has had
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, that's a
probably
wholly
like
different story.
situations.
Maybe in a fresher relationship.
Personally, yeah, for me personally, I've been through some of those things, and of course, I trust my girlfriend not to, cheat on me with somebody else.
Mm,
But if I come around and say, "Oh, who are you texting?" and they say, "Oh, no one," I'm gonna get curious. Obviously,
Yeah.
sure. My first thought isn't gonna be, "Oh, she's cheating on me." Oh, fucking hell! It's gonna be like, I'm a bit curious. Like, is it just a friend or what's the deal?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say like if I was to put it in the context of like if I was to view it outside of my own relationship, if it was a new relationship and stuff like that, it definitely would like a 3.
It'd be a
It'd be a 3,
Ooh.
definitely.
It'd be
Yeah.
pretty sus.
It'd be middle of the road.
To be fair,
there, like
I should mention I have been in these scenarios as well though with like ex-girlfriends before where like they have been like texting someone and it's been like and you don't and you know what the thing is, like half the time like it's brought up not even in a like a suspicious way. It's just like, oh, who are you texting? Oh,
Yeah.
just like, oh, what you up to?
Yeah.
You know, and then it's just
Exactly.
like, oh, no one, and it's kind of like, oh,
That's when it
what
creates
do you
suspicion.
mean, like?
it's like, what you mean?
That's what you
Nobody.
What do you mean,
no
no
one.
one?
You mean?
You can't be texting no one. You have to be texting somebody.
Yeah, it's like in that scenario, absolutely. You know, you're already setting out a bad path for your relationship if you're not gonna be
Well,
honest.
again, this comes down to honesty and trust. If you're already at a point in the relationship, let's say you've only been seeing each other for a couple of months and you're already willing to lie to your significant other about someone you're
Ooh.
texting, then there's already
That is
issues.
true, yeah.
Yeah.
The foundation
Yeah.
must be strong.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it is. The reason me and
As
Shauna
an
can get away with it is
example-
because we're married. Do you know what I mean? Like
Well,
we
you
have
know,
trust.
What do you mean?
If I'm saying Oh, if she's asking me who you text and I'm saying no one, she's gonna be like,
annoyed at me because I'm just like bothering him when he's trying to concentrate on what he's trying to say to his friend. So that's why he's just like, no one, like what? What do you want?
But I mean, in a situation like that, if I'm sitting there texting and my girlfriend comes and say like, "Who are you texting?" I would just instantly, this is my mate Marty or something. I'd just give them a name, and if they don't know it, they'll probably just ask, "Oh, well, who's Marty or who's Jennifer?" Or and I'll just tell them what's the deal. It's like by me just saying, "Oh, there's no one," it just creates more suspicion
Do
and
you
it creates immediate
reason to
suspicion.
start going into it.
Yeah, I understand that. Like, Karen, take some notes there now.
Next time, he's gonna be like, it's Alex.
Well, it takes like in fairness though, it takes 2 seconds to say a name. So you like, but I think Karen doesn't
Well,
do it on
exactly.
purpose. I think I think it's just like force of
I
habit.
don't really think about it, to be honest.
No,
Like,
you just kind of
Yeah.
spit it out, and that's it. Then
it's kind of meh.
yeah.
I can agree, but I'd definitely set this on a hard 3.
I'd probably
Yeah, 3.
put it on a 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 3's fair because, like, again, context is also key, but also if the person who's messaging the other person is willing to lie to their significant other that they're messaging someone, I think that's like big red flags straight
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
I'll say a 4.
Oh,
Whoa.
very
Yeah.
high. Kids.
Oh.
Very, very high.
I like in my mind, I'm thinking someone if my partner's consistently doing it,
Yeah.
you know.
Mm,
And
Consistently, yeah, that's another thing
That's
as
a
well.
big-
Plus, it plays on your mind as well. Like that's the type of thing that you'll be thinking
yeah,
about.
is it?
Night.
Yeah,
Someone with
exactly. If it's
anxiety.
like haunting, like kind of haunting my mind for like the next
But
month or two, then like of course it's
Yeah.
like
But then at the same time, your partner could just turn around and say, "It's just my friend Candice."
Yeah. Why are you
that's
being
true.
No,
Why-
exactly.
why
That's
are
why
you
I
That's
didn't
true.
just
Cheating
go
is
for
so
it.
much more like elaborate and like more well planned. Like you can hide it a lot easier now, in my opinion.
There's a reason why
I think
most
you're
cheaters
giving
get
a lot of
caught.
people a lot more credit than they
Yeah.
deserve because a lot of
Yeah.
people cheating, they
dumb.
it's
dumb.
not really that thought out.
No. No.
No, but I definitely I would have put it higher if it wasn't for my own experience with my girlfriend because she texts like a lot on her phone, and
Mm.
sometimes I'll just be asking her who you texted and say, "Oh, it's just a friend from China." All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
A friend from China. Okay. Should
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
like,
she
I could
she
apply
has
the same
plenty
to
of
you as well,
friends in
Spicy,
China.
couldn't it? Like, she could ask you who you're messaging, who you're texting. You could be like, "Oh, just my friends in the Discord," or you could be like, "Oh, just my
Yeah.
friend from." Let's say if it was Fluffy, my friend from New Zealand. You know, like, if you need to go into a more elaboration, I suppose you could, but
Well, of course, yeah. And I've talked to her about her friends in China, and it's mostly like female friends. But of course, I don't have a problem with it being male friends either. Mostly, they're just talking series, etc. But we're
Galaxy
between me and
point-
her, we're very open with our friends and talk about them.
Galaxy points out something really, really interesting there as well. Is like you do have that doubt in your head. Then you're like, you know what Galaxy said is, are
Ooh,
they
true.
talking to them
Who's
more
initiating?
than talking to me? That makes you feel even worse. That makes you feel insecure. You're like, why am I not getting this attention that this person you're texting a lot is getting? Like you're constantly on your phone. You're constantly texting this person. I don't know who it is. You know, like
Well, yeah,
it's
I think that
it's
depends on the situation too. Like
yeah.
if we're on a date and they're texting somebody, well, yeah, I'm gonna get annoyed.
I
But
think
if we're just
on your
hanging
phone
in the
in
sofa,
general.
yeah,
Okay, what if we flip it
just in general,
around?
yeah.
What if
Alright.
you, what if your, do you think it's kind of suspicious if your partner accused you?
No, because
Mm.
you can just straight up
Sure,
be honest and
yeah.
show them your phone. You
if
can
you've
just be
nothing
like,
to
"Look."
hide, then you shouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
But,
you're
but
not
no.
going to be.
like I'm okay. I'm saying I feel like that like
Yeah, if you
would
say
you
it's
say would
nothing.
you say would you no exactly would you think something's going on if your partner always accuse you of like cheating?
No, because some people do have genuine trust issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like some people, you could be in a relationship with someone. They might have only touched briefly on their past relationships, but you don't know the extent of the amount of trust issues they might have based on past
Fair.
relationships. Like at the same time, look, like I think that stuff should be kind of laid out on the open. I think like if you have been in a relationship with someone where someone's really seriously burnt you and you have severe trust
You
issues,
need to let your new partner know that going into
Yeah.
it, so they understand. Well, like you know,
if there is
they
a bit of
react
paranoia,
like this way because of their bad experience. But at the same time, you should have the ability to work on yourself because it's not fair in your new partner as well. That's another thing. Like, I think, you're responsible for your behavior, no one else.
I just
Just so I get the situation right, you're referring to, let's say I'm texting somebody
Yes.
and my significant other comes around all of a sudden and says, "You're cheating,"
It's more like
or accuses me of cheating.
accused, like claiming they're always paranoid, they're always worried
Oh, okay,
about
okay.
you. Like there's not like the 100% trust, I guess.
Yeah, no, that definitely is, as both Sean and Karen are saying here, that it comes with, I guess, context and history.
Yep.
Because definitely I'd get annoyed if somebody accused me of cheating when I'm not really doing anything. Honestly, I'm not doing anything suspicious in my mind. But it also comes down to communication in the sense of, if I'm doing something they see as, oh, that's a bit suspicious, if they don't ask me, I can't really correct myself or, adjust to the situation or explain myself in that case. If they were hurt in the past and I'd know about that, of course I'd be more careful. But it definitely comes down to explaining stuff and laying it down at the start.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
I
that's
agree.
fair. I'm more thinking about toward like the direction of like usually cheaters are usually more they hate being cheated on.
Mm.
Yeah, projecting. You mean? Yeah, I can
Yes.
definitely see that.
Well, this is
So
the thing.
yes,
If you are
projecting is the
cheating
thing.
on your partner, if you're in a relationship and you're cheating on your partner, I think there's already you've dated that person already has a heightened sense of what if they're cheating on me too.
Guilt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's like if they're projecting their own guilt onto the situation, and I think sometimes they try and justify it, saying, "Well, I think they're cheating on me as well, so I don't feel as bad if I'm doing it too."
Yeah.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah, the projection I can definitely agree with. Because funny enough, that's actually part of why my relative and their significant other kind of broke up, because there was a bunch of projection.
Oh.
Turns
Okay.
out the significant other was the one cheating. So,
Okay.
but no, definitely. Like if I'd start getting suspicious if I'm not doing anything that I can see as suspicious. If I'm just texting or if I'm hanging out with a friend and I let them know, and they keep saying, "Oh, are you cheating with me? Or why are you hanging out with this person so much? You're cheating with me." Then eventually, I guess, like, why do they keep bringing up the subject of cheating when I've constantly explained myself over and over? Then I'd
Yeah.
start getting suspicious about, are they actually projecting?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
So I think we all agree that
I just
kind of
think
high 3-4s.
See, like, I totally like understand you. I mean, I can't cheat on someone even if I tried. I'd probably just cry. Yeah, same. Honestly, honestly, I would. I wouldn't be able to bring myself to do that. No.
Okay, that's what that got me to think about. Like, why do people cheat? Why do you think they cheat?
I mean, the
Oh,
reason
that's such a
people-
deep question.
It is a deep question. Some people cheat just because they can. Realistically, if someone thinks they can get away with it, then they'll just do it. Other
'Cause they're
people,
bored.
other people cheat because they're unhappy.
I think it's like I think our generation you might see it a bit less in, right? But I think of like my parents' generation and their parents' generation and stuff. Like especially their parents' generation, they ended up being like married off like young enough, and like you can have young marriages now, but you're more assured of yourself now with like all the knowledge we have out there and stuff, and we work. Our generation's kind of more self-assertive, and we take what we want, kind of thing. Even if there's anxiety along the way with it, but with like our grandparents' generation and our parents' generation, they often ended up in like marriages that they didn't really want to be in, and like I don't excuse cheating in any sense, but if like I think it's more prominent definitely in their generations than it is in ours. But then you have those fuck boys that you see on TikTok and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean,
You know,
they're not real people. They're just like
they're like the
they're just walking.
like the gravelly fucking.
That's more of a
guys.
character, though.
Yeah, that's
I
what I'm
feel
saying.
like
They're just
these. I'll just advocate for them, like just for the sake of advocate. I'll just say I feel like the younger generation have less emotional maturity, so they have a harder time to express what they need and want with their partner. And I think that's the reason that they cheat because they don't want to open up to other people
Yeah.
as much. And it's just easier
Mm.
to just do it secretly than confronting
Charlotte
those
Ruby brings up
issues.
a good point there as well
It definitely is easier today.
about long distance relationships. I don't know how you're going to touch on that at all in a second, Ken's, but I don't know if it's one of the topics, but it's worth touching on as well. If you're in a long distance relationship, everything we've talked about so far is like heightened times 10
Really?
because like you can't.
Oh yeah,
Because
definitely.
you can't, if you're not spending time with them, then you already have that. There's already going to be a seed of doubt of what are they doing when they're not talking to me because they could be doing anything.
Yeah.
And, it could be a case of what if they do find someone closer to home where, maybe it's better for them. Like that sort of stuff comes into play as well when it comes to cheating too.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Mm.
just talk to the, like, I just don't understand why people can't
No,
talk
look,
things out.
I just say it outright. I'm not saving this point because I'm gonna make it now, right? My point is, if you are unhappy, if you don't want to be in that relationship anymore, then say it and leave the relationship. I'm sorry, but you're just gonna cause someone a lot of emotional stress, baggage, and future anxieties because you decided to be selfish. Like, I don't care about the situation. Like, I just don't. Just like, don't be together. It's as simple as that. Have a conversation. You were able to have conversations getting together in a relationship. Have a conversation to leave it as well. You know?
That's actually
Like,
very interesting. That the point you're making there, because a lot of cheating happens due to unsatisfaction in
Yeah.
the relationship you're currently in, and most of the cases it's due to not loving the person anymore, just not liking them anymore,
People are
but
too
not
afraid to
being
tell that person.
exactly not wanting to hurt the person by breaking up or saying, "Oh, I don't like you
you're
anymore."
hurting them more. You're hurting
Yeah,
them
you
more
just
then.
It
Well,
is.
yes, exactly. Absolutely, I completely agree. But in the mindset of somebody that's in that situation in the moment, I could definitely see why it's hard to make that. And all of a sudden, all the lines that you usually wouldn't cross becomes grey.
I can
Yeah.
attest to that.
Well, look, many people that know me and Shauna know for a fact that when me and Shauna first ever met, I was in a 4-year relationship. When me and Shauna first started talking and started getting to know each other, we were part of another group, a bit like the one we have in the Discord, but it was over on Skype.
Okay.
And when me and Shauna first started getting to know each other, I was in a relationship. The difference being there is, me and my like when I kind of knew I was getting feelings for Shauna, I broke up.
Yeah, Skype the ancient relic.
I broke up. Me and my girlfriend broke up because like I was straight up honest. I was like, I'm not happy anymore. I think it's time to call it quits.
Well,
But
exactly.
like,
That's the point I'm making.
but you see,
Because
you can still like, but there was still a period there when I was still with my ex girlfriend, but I was talking to Shauna.
No,
Now,
I think there is that line, like when I say like, just talk about it, I think there is that line where if you come to the discovery, like Karen himself did, where he realized he was much happier talking to another person, and before you go and commit the act of cheating by like, doing, taking that step further with the person you're already talking to, because it can be just general like, flirting and not really anything too serious or anything like that. But like before it crosses like a serious heavy boundary, that's when you need to turn to your partner and you need to be like, look, I've met someone else that made me realize that what I was looking for in our relationship I found somewhere else, and it's just missing here, and I'm not happy and I want to leave. Like I think you have to have that responsibility as well.
well, for me, it was
well, yeah,
the wake up realization call was when I was talking to these, like when Sean, when I was in this Skype group of, it was creature fans. Um, it was when I
Represent.
realized at the end of each day, if I was coming home from work or if I was doing whatever, it was the realization of, oh my god, my first thought is to go talk to them, sit in my room on my own and talk to them, than go and spend time with this person I've been in a relationship with 4 years. And that was my realization was, I don't think I'm happy in this relationship anymore because I've known these people for about a month and I'd rather spend time with them and not her. So I was kind of like, okay. And then it was just kind of like a month on from that. That's when I finally came to the conclusion. Okay, it's time to end things because I'm clearly, if this is the way if this is my mindset now, I'm clearly not happy.
If you're looking elsewhere, then that's
It's
your
not even
Yeah.
necessarily that I was looking elsewhere. It's just like I realized when I was talking to these friends that I had made on Skype and the laughs that I was having with them, and
Just
even
not.
like even if it was just innocent friendships as well. But
Yes.
it was the fact that like they made me realize that, oh, this is what it's like to actually enjoy an evening with company. Do you know what I mean? So like it's that sort of stuff too. But it's like you said though. Some people are too afraid to not tell their significant other that they feel that way because I think part of it's, well, they don't want to
That's your
accept
problem,
it.
though. That's your own fears, and I'm sorry, but you've yourself to blame for it. Like, I don't
Yeah.
care.
But that's also coming because I see it from both of you as being very responsible. And I can definitely attest to not everybody's responsible or
No.
thinks that way.
No,
know,
of
It's
course not.
definitely something Cherry mentioned about
It just comes with
confrontation.
time and experience. You learn all those things.
Definitely, it's a mindset usually where
Yeah.
when you grow up, usually you don't really have the same sense of responsibility as you did when you were younger,
Mm-hmm.
because it also comes a lot with age and maturity, to be honest, especially with people
Experience.
being afraid of confrontation. And this can be anybody, anywhere, anytime. Honestly,
I
even
can
like in
attest to that.
relationships.
Because like I gone through that experience, I was the one that was too afraid. And many like some people in the chat right now knows like who I dated in the past, and
Mm.
I can attest that I was very afraid to confront because I had that fear I don't want to hurt them, and that was
Yeah.
like the biggest regret I had, like not doing it
Yeah.
sooner because it was a waste of my time, it was a waste of her time, and we
Yeah.
could have just gone through it
Mhm.
a lot sooner. Like this was
Yeah,
like
you
Yeah.
could have got on. You could have both moved on quickly.
But see, the thing is as well, Kens, there are situations where you might come to a realization in a relationship that you're unhappy. But I think if you've been in a relationship for a while, you almost feel like there's this
duty kind of
responsibility
yeah.
a duty, yeah, to kind of like try and keep going with it to see will it improve. But then obviously, I mean, usually the case is that it doesn't. It gets
Doesn't.
worse. So that's why you find
Usually
a lot of
gets
people-
worse, definitely.
It usually gets worse. I mean, I'm sure there are situations where people, like a couple, have kind of sat down and hashed it all out, and then realized that maybe there was stuff they could both do differently. I don't know. You never know.
But so there's this thing as well of like people who have been cheated on and their partners confront them and tell them I've cheated on you. And then it's that like it's so sad, but it's that desperation from that partner that's been cheated on saying, okay, well, you know, like don't do it again, like, you know, and this person begging for forgiveness. And it's like if I was to look at it that way, if that had happened to me, if I was cheated on and they confronted me about it and that like they were begging for forgiveness, I would not be able to move on in that relationship furthermore because there's no like I think once the trust is broken, that's it. You'll be paranoid for the rest of your life in that relationship. Otherwise, I think you've ruined it.
I think
You've absolutely ruined it.
I disagree. I think it's hard. I agree it's really hard, but I think it's possible to come back from it after the cheating.
See, this I was going to ask the question if you guys believe that the saying "once a cheater, always a cheater," because in my experience, even seeing other people's relationships, it usually is the case of yes, once a cheater, always a cheater. I don't think I know anyone who's cheated in a relationship and then salvaged
maybe
that
in terms of
relationship.
context is different. Like if you were like you know, triggered for anyone, I'm just gonna bring up something sensitive, but if like you were in an abusive relationship or anything like that that you couldn't get out of, like it doesn't have to be physical, but just like verbally, like or anything, you know, I can understand people like that, you know, like that's, you know, there are some exceptions to the how I view it, you know, but like another sense, you know, I think if a person cheats, I think they'd have to be out of a relationship for a long while and have to work on themselves before, you know, if they were known, like, and if they tried to date other friends before anyone would view them otherwise, before I'd view them otherwise, you know? Like, I think you need to learn from your mistakes, but like, it depends on the person as well. It depends if you're a fuckboy. Like, I'm sure I'm gonna know you're gonna do it again. Like, I know you're gonna. But if you're my friend and you explain your situation, like, I'll still scold the person and you know tell them like you know my very strong opinion that they were wrong, but I know that they are a good person as well. So like, I kind of agree with you in the sense of if you know the person and you know they are good and it was like this one time thing, sometimes you can forgive, but I think it all depends on the person, you know? Like it does for me.
I think I just believe that everyone could change if they're willing to change. That's my opinion.
So I have two sets of opinions on this.
Okay.
and it comes to like the victim and the cheater in this case.
Hmm.
In the sense of a cheater, I can definitely see that somebody can change, but in the case of a victim, I would definitely say it's hard to win back that trust.
It
It's
is.
definitely possible. Personally, I would not be able to get past it.
That's an
I
extreme
can
uphill
definitely
battle.
see somebody getting past it eventually.
That is a very, very extreme uphill battle. Like once I feel like if it was me personally, okay, like if someone cheated on me and they told me about it, like, or if I found out about it, there's no way, me personally I could ever get that relationship back on track because the trust is just gone. Because then if they do admit that they're cheating on you, do you know how we were talking about earlier? If they're messaging someone,
Yes.
your mind's gonna be going 90 miles an hour, and you're gonna be like, who are they texting? Who's that?
Exactly.
And you even
It's
if it's
definitely uphill
even if it's
battle,
just
though.
their friend, your mind's gonna be like a tumbleweed, just like
How
that's.
close are they with that friend?
It's just I don't know.
Oh, it's definitely going to be a really hard uphill battle, but then it all comes down to communication about
Mm-hmm.
how well you can communicate with your partner in that case
Yeah.
about everything. If they actually mean to make amends and make things better and regain that trust, then communication is extremely important.
And I don't think the blame also falls on just the person cheating in the relationship, but the person outside of the relationship that the person's cheating with. Like, you know what you're getting yourself into.
Sometimes they
You
don't.
know what I mean? You do. You
Oh,
do.
that's
You
not always
do.
the
It's
case.
not always the case.
You
Oh
do.
yeah.
Sometimes they don't know that other person's in a relationship until it's too late.
Well, yeah, like, yeah, I suppose some people aren't, they don't know, but like, for the people that do, like, come on, like, you should know yourself that what you're doing is wrong. And you should be like, okay, I don't want to continue this until you've left that. Like, why would you want that for yourself? Why would you
But
want to
I'd
know that they
say
going back to their relationship?
that's very situational in my opinion, because it can also depend on like what. Let's say if I start dating a girl that says that she's free, she's not in a relationship, and then I find out eventually that she has been dating somebody, but this person she says is bad for them, and she's not happy with them, and she's trying to get out of the relationship. In that case, you're put in a position where, oh shit, this person wants to get out but doesn't know how to. Then
Okay.
kind of have to decide if shit, should I trust this person or should I try to help them out?
That's fair enough.
mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's a tricky one.
I'd be the one that's saying, look, if you want to continue this relationship with me, then you have to end that relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I'm not
definitely,
like
definitely.
I'm not being the little side piece that you come to just when you're feeling sad about your current boyfriend. That's not me.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
about
no,
your
definitely.
self-worth as well, like, And like, I don't want
I,
to
I
hate. I don't want people to think I hate all cheaters. 'Cause I do think it's circumstantial.
Well, actually, Ken's did bring up a good
Situational.
point. People can change. People definitely can change. It's just that I don't know. It's very rare.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to have like I think it is a thing of you're going to have less judgment on your friend if they do, but you're also still you still hold them accountable. If it's a fresh like incident. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I just know. See, I'm talking from where I stand from. And it's just like if Karen was to do that to me, I would fucking end his life.
Karen, don't do it.
Yeah,
Don't plan it.
he'd be the one going to
Oh,
deal with
shit.
me and being put inside a bear and
Karen's
burned alive.
gonna do it with me.
I was just about to say, Kenzie, you better watch yourself out because Sean is coming for you in that case.
I'll fly over and
Yeah, like me
Exactly.
and you joke about that all the time though. Like, I mean, I've people constantly flirting with my husband in my face, like in the Discord, but I know it's a joke. Like, you have to know when it's a joke and
Yeah.
when it isn't a
It's not
joke.
a joke.
I think I flirt. Personally, I feel like I have a flirty personality. So I personally,
Yeah,
I
but
feel
you
bad.
do.
I feel bad doing it with like other women because I feel like I have this intentioned kind of thing
Yeah.
of flirting with them. So I just point it towards men, where just like I have
I just think it's
there's no
funny,
end
though.
goal with
Can I just
that.
say, I love talking to dudes who are so open with their sexuality that they
Yeah,
like
they're
Ken's
comfortable.
like Ken's can flirt with me, and I know Ken's doesn't really want to get into my pants, but the fact that
Who
he's
knows?
comfortable enough to be like that, I love that. I love talking like Fluffy is like I love talking to people like that because it's just like
If you're in it, like, do you know the way, like, our community, like, you know, like, Fluffy could be there, like, I die for Shauna. And, like, Karen's not going to be like, you've what?
what do you mean?
You know the context, because it all depends on who you're with. Like, you know, you can have, like, opposite sex messing like that, but it's not serious. Like, it's not an actual, like, they're not intentionally flirting with you, or they're not, like, they're not, you know, they're not doing it. It's a joke. Like, it's nothing more than a joke, you
Do
know?
it, Fluffy.
So you should be able to have fun. Like, I tell Fluffy, I die for
But
him
no,
as well.
this is the thing. Like me and Shauna were just chilling in the kitchen one day, and I turned around to Shauna. I said, I feel like I said, Fluffy has a really attractive voice. I feel like he'd be an attractive person,
Exactly.
right? But that,
Yeah, but
but
we
me and
said
Shauna,
that
me and
were
Shauna
like,
can
yeah,
agree on
we
that, and
we
it's not
did.
like it's not weird because
No,
it's
it's
Yeah, I
not.
agree
it's
with
just a
that.
fact.
Like, you're able to, like, you should be able to compliment someone without, like, that doesn't mean you have romantic intention behind it, you know?
I think that comes with one of my
Is it just me
questions
or is it
too.
getting hot in here? Oof.
Oh,
Jesus.
yeah, I'm getting
Okay.
warm.
Spicy,
Since-
you're handsome boys. Though.
Since we jump onto the subject, how would you feel if your partner confessed like they kind of like somebody from work or like they like a friend?
I mean, that's it. Relationship over. See you later. Goodbye. I don't need your
No.
wandering
So-
gaze.
Pin.
I want you to define liking.
Infatuated.
Like romantically, kind of like
Fair
getting
enough.
into
Yeah,
them.
no, I get that. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, no, bye.
So that's like straight.
okay.
Would you say that? Okay, that's not okay. Would you say that's cheating?
That's 5. That's like even if they haven't acted upon it, right? The fact that they're already like,
They're sexually attracted to
like I
someone,
mean,
like,
what are you supposed to do when that's if if Shauna comes to me, oh by the way, I kind of fancy this fella, and I'm gonna be like, well, what the fuck do you want me to do about that? What am I supposed to do with that information? Like, I'm sorry. Like, okay, like
good for you.
good, yeah, like congratulations. Like, I don't know. Like to me, that's just like, okay, so obviously I wasn't giving you enough in the relationship, and now you're interested in someone else. So, I mean, regardless of whether you
Like having a
intend on
crush,
acting
Ivani.
upon those actions, there's already there's something wrong in the relationship there straight away.
Yeah.
So
Look,
the
and look,
question
attraction,
is it
attraction
cheating?
isn't, you know,
Right.
it's not like you can't help who you're attracted to. But I mean, there's a difference of being attracted to someone and saying you like
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on, spicy.
Okay, it's just so the question is if this is cheating. Is this considered cheating?
I mean,
Technically, I wouldn't consider this cheating because they talked to you first.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at that point, at least they're saying it to you. But, like,
Yeah,
have
no,
they
I can
already
agree with
acted
that.
on it? Have they already
I
acted?
have
No, I
a
just wanted
very,
to make sure
I have
that
a
I got the
very.
question
Spicy,
clear.
do you agree with Karen and Shauna? Like it's like
Like, okay.
because I have a completely opposite opinion.
Do you
I'm a
now?
bit I'm a bit on the fence.
Because I
Yeah.
talked like I have something similar with my relationship going on right now. Like we both agree that sometimes we do have crushes. We can't help it. It's just something we can't control. But then at the end of the day, we both know that
You wouldn't
Shit.
act on it.
we wouldn't act on it, and we both know that we're perfect for each other. Because how we have a
That-
crush,
That's
Like,
a crush, though. That's just thinking someone's attractive. That's
not
not
just
liking
not
them.
just attractive, like you like their personality, like you think you want to be with them, kind of thing. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah,
You could
your
imagine
relationship
yourself
is
being
very
romantically
trusting.
together with them.
Kinda.
But saying that, if I was in a relationship with someone and they said, "Oh, I'm kind of romantically interested in somebody else," like even if okay, and
Yeah,
they were like,
he's right there. Like,
and they were like, look, even if they say they're not going to act upon it and they still really like you, they just wanted to let you know, I'm just going to be thinking for the rest of that relationship of, well, who else does she like, and is she acting upon it without me even knowing? What made her tell me about this one?
I mean-
what hasn't she said, or what haven't they said?
Karen gets jealous whenever I have, like, it depends on what show we're watching. So, like, for when Game of Thrones was on, it was Jon Snow, and I was like, oh my god, he just makes me, you know, like that toast there in the toast
It's
thing.
not so much jealousy, but it's just that when Shauna latches on to like a celebrity crush,
She, like, got
it's
so angry.
no, but it's just you. Right. It's when Shauna latches on to like a celebrity
Yeah, like
or
Joe
like
Keery is right
or
now.
anything like that.
Chasing him.
It's just Shauna gets tunnel vision, and it's just sort of like, okay, I get it.
No,
You
but
like
it's
the
just
man with the
yeah.
nice hair.
I mean, yeah, it's just like we both know like Joe
Well,
Keery's not gonna walk
I know,
into the
like
room
that's
right
what I'm
now
saying.
and
I
be
know.
like,
So
"Shut go."
that's why I don't really care. But it's just kind of like, okay, Shauna, I get it. Okay.
I just get so like never mind. This is totally but you know what I mean. Like I just think
No, I get
you're
you.
allowed to have
So,
crushes on celebrities.
in my point of view for this subject specifically, I'd probably have a conversation with my girlfriend first off, seeing, okay, where does that put us? Do you still like me? Do you want to be with them? In that is that
That's
question
the
then?
important question. That's the
Yeah.
important
That's
Yeah.
where
Because I can
okay.
I can get past it, because if it's same thing as Ken said, I can definitely see that I can have a crush on somebody else, but I'm still wanting to be with my girlfriend. I'm not going to act on, let's say, this new person of interest.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But
think
then I'd
that's
start have to
yeah.
questioning myself: do I really enjoy the relationship I'm in? In that case, like it's a lot of questions that pops up for me in that case.
Yeah,
But
it's like why
definitely, my
is
first
my head
question would be,
turning?
what's going to happen with us regarding
Okay, when this
this
happened to me
confession?
in my relationship, it's basically we fought about it. We fought about like the reason that we have these crushes on other people is because like we only like the reason that we still stay together is that because we only like the idea of that person you like. You don't really actually know them.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why
yeah,
that's
definitely.
why my girlfriend and I are still together because like we agreed that we know each other. We're perfect. We feel like we work really well together, and I think nothing else. No, like we can't find anyone that can match this like energy that we
Yeah.
have with each
Yeah.
other. So we agreed that we could have crushes, but we at the end of the day we both know that we both are perfect for each other. And then
But that's
the person that we do want to be with are just like the idea that we have, this fantasy that we created on our own.
Yeah, fantasy, exactly. That's the perfect word
that's the
for it.
trust
Because
thing
I
though,
see it
like
as a fantasy.
that's the trust thing I was talking about earlier. Like when I talk about like myself and Karen's trust, like we like it's trust. It's trust. Like you
Yeah.
both trust each other. So like I could turn to Karen and go, "Oh yeah, this fella started here. Like, he's a handsome boy." Like I wouldn't be like,
Yeah, but there's a big difference. Like
yeah,
if
I
you said,
suppose I don't really find other people attractive.
no, but like Sean,
Karen.
no, but Sean, if you did come to me and you were like, oh, there's this fella who started working here, he's quite handsome. Like I don't really think much of that. Like it's like okay, like I'd probably agree.
Yeah.
Do you
I don't know. It makes me uncomfortable to even imagine thinking that I'd like someone else besides Karen.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I mean, he's just my hot stub muffin. Like he's my everything.
I also
Like I
think
said,
you
this,
both are so infatuated with each other, and
We
in
are.
the trust you have with each other, that it's probably hard to put yourself in a
but it's like I
different
It's
said,
very
you
hard.
can definitely I can definitely look at other people and say they're attractive. Like our friend Lisa,
Well, yeah.
I can
Yeah,
look at
she's
her.
a hottie.
I can look at our friend Lisa, and I could even say to Lisa's face, saying, "Lisa,
You're a sexy bitch.
you're such a pretty girl. Or you're really attractive." And I know Shauna's not going to care because Shauna agrees. Like
I mean, Lisa's always joking about us being in a throuple. Like,
Oh,
she's our third
okay.
wheel. Not in a serious way. It's
No,
just that
but
Oh,
Yeah, no.
okay, okay, we
third
see.
wheel.
Okay,
She third
sorry,
wheel.
Kens, they're taken.
Damn it. I gotta fight. I gotta fight her for it.
If I have to put a number on this, I actually don't know
Yeah.
because it's if it
like
is
it's
it
a
cheating.
fantasy thing as well. Like, I mean, it depends on like what type of relationship you have. Like, if you're into like kinky stuff and fantasies like that, yeah, okay, I get that. Like, I absolutely get that.
What do you mean? Wait. How? What do you mean by like if
That's
you're
your
into
fantasy. Like,
kinky and fantasy stuff?
I mean, it is kind of kinky, like that you can just like be like you could turn to your partner and you can just be like, oh my god, like I'm just like totally digging on this person. Or like they're hot, like
What the
that
fuck?
is
Okay.
kinky.
Okay.
That's you being kinky.
I don't. Okay. So I see your
Kinky? I
opinion.
don't know if I could call it
I know. I
that.
wouldn't call it that.
No, I wouldn't call it that.
I think my mindset is that like I believe like we're human. We have that like we have this we do get infatuated by other people, but like we should also control ourselves as in some extent, I
Oh,
guess.
you're some country. Yeah, I absolutely agree there. Like, I think you're allowed to like, I don't know, like for me, I wouldn't like anyone besides Karen. Like my extent of infatuation goes towards like, Steve from Stranger Things. I mean, that's hair, like man. that hair. But I can sit here and say that, like, because Karen knows that's as far as my crushes will go on anyone, is just people that are unattainable. Like, they're not. I'm not. Hey, look, I just think Kuritsugu really hot, but guess what? He's a fucking cartoon.
Liara from Mass
He's
Effect.
a 2D
Oh, I'd
character,
have
mate.
those blue tentacles any day.
But in this situation, it would be, let's say, Jeff from work. Man, he all of a sudden started looking really fucking hot. He started liking his jokes extra much, you know. And then you come around thinking, I think I actually kind of like Jeff from work. You know?
More than a friend, or more than a work
Don't
friend.
forget though, there
Exactly.
is couples out there. There's
It's
couples
the
out there who are
fantasy,
very
you know.
open.
Yeah, you
it's
can
very
open
open.
relationships. You can be like completely open in your relationship, and it works. Like, it all depends on who you are as a person. You know.
Polygamy,
just
for an
think-
example. That's a great
I-
example.
I think if I was to put a number on this, even though it's technically not cheating, I'd probably still give it a 2, just because I think personally I'd feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'd maybe put it at like a 2 or a 3, like maybe a 2.5.
I'll say 0.5.
I
At
don't know.
0.5, it's not suspicious enough if she tells me openly. Like, it's all about like the open communication. That's all I want to
I
hear.
think it's good to be open. I think that side of it, yeah. But like, I'd still be like, I have insecurities. Like, I am insecure. I very insecure. Like, in terms of just like, not like. It's really hard to describe insecurities because it depends on the insecurities you have. But like, I'd just be like, no, I'm the one that you find most attractive, and it's more of a jokey, fun thing with me and Karen. Like, if I'm like that, like, you know, not I don't know.
Yeah, no, so I'm going to put this on a 1, mainly because in the scenario I have in my head, it's that they come up to me before anything has happened. They say I start liking somebody else. So it's not suspicious for me at all because I don't consider it cheating
Yeah, it's not
because
cheating,
nothing's
it's just
happened
Yeah,
yet.
cheating.
it's not. If it hasn't, yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
But of course, it creates suspicion from that point on.
Yes, that's the thing.
But then it leads to they just, you know how I said there's different type of cheating. The cheating is like, I assume everyone's thinking the cheating is like the physical cheating that we're talking about.
Yeah.
The main one, the most popular one. About emotional
So
cheating.
you have emotional cheating. Yeah.
Would this consider be emotional cheating?
I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that would fall under that
Yeah, I
category.
definitely agree with emotional cheating on this one.
It depends. It depends on the people in the relationship and how they perceive
Oh,
that sort of thing.
So here comes a different question. Like pointing into that. So you know how you have monogamy and polygamy, but that's the physical point. But when it comes to emotional level, can you have the same like monogamous emotional level and
Yeah, I think it's. Yeah, I think
polygamous
so.
emotional
I think
level?
so. Yeah, I think you can. Like him
Because
and his girlfriend, for example, they're both comfortable.
can you
in each
love
other.
2 people at the same time? You know.
I think some people
I think
can.
love is no. I think love is a different thing, though. I think liking and being infatuated with someone and then love, like they're
Yeah,
two
that's
completely
different.
different
I
things.
agree with that.
So for me, that is a very like the word love. I can't really connect with that personally. I don't really feel much towards that word. So I don't know. I can't really connect or relate to that too
I
much.
think
For me, it's
right-
kind of the same thing, liking
Yeah.
somebody.
Well, no, like if I was to put it to you this way, right? I think like when you're in love, when it's love, you see that as your person for life. You are most comfortable around them all the time. They're the first person you want to see when you wake up and when you go to sleep.
When you're in love, there's no doubts.
There's no doubts in
But-
love.
But that puts the word love into like a question of definition because then you have polygamy. Because
Emotional
in the same
polygamy?
sense, because then you can love several people at the same time, can you? Because
Ooh, I never
I
thought
don't
about
think
that. That is
so.
You
interesting.
can love several people, but I don't know. I think
To
when
be
you're
in love
love with several
is a
people,
totally
well,
different
that's
thing.
what I mean. But that's only because you're. I'm just going to assume that you're both monogamous at the moment,
Of course.
I mean, yeah,
At the
just-
moment,
and
yeah.
then you've
Yeah.
only known, yeah.
we may be taking
'Cause then-
applications in the future.
Because then I just assume that you've only known like monogamous, emotional, like love in that sense, like being in love with one person.
Let me
I
put
can't
you this
speak
way.
for anybody that is in a polygamous relationship that they can be in love with several people.
I'll give you an example. Okay, here's a scenario, right? You're after being rushed into hospital by an ambulance, right? You're really sick or whatever, something's happened. You're seriously hurt, okay? But you're conscious enough you're conscious enough, but you're seriously hurt. I think being in love is it being like the first person. Like if you were to think of it in your, is it polygamy? Is the open relationship? Like to be in love.
Polygamy is you can be with several people at the same time.
Yeah.
But
So I think like to be in love. I think to know your true love is it would be the first person you think of in those moments. Like
That's true. That would be that's actually very interesting. Yeah.
it's the first person your brain and your heart goes to who you know will.
If you're in a
like,
life or
love and
death
protect you.
situation, which one
Yeah.
of your 5 girlfriends? which one of your 5 girlfriends are you going to be
Your
thinking
mind
of?
is to go to one instantly, and that's your brain's like that's your trust in your body that you're not always going to be aware of that, but it's your brain instantly going to do that. It's like your everyday, like you're used to doing things. Your brain is instantly going to go to that person because that's who you are in love with. You know, that is your person. Like they're your core. They're your center. You know, like for me and Karen, we can't even like we get sad having to sleep apart. Like you know, like when I was in the hospital and stuff, it was really hard because me and Karen have spent every day together since we've been together and he's moved here.
Put it this way, when we
Except for the night before our
wedding.
wedding and when I was in hospital.
and when Shauna was in hospital for it was like 2 weeks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When Shauna was in hospital for 2 weeks, I actually found it very hard to sleep in our bed because it was too weird. So I spent most nights sleeping on the sofa just because it was like I just could not sleep in a big bed without Shauna because it was just too strange.
Like that's another example of like being in love. Like, you know, it's love is to me like it doesn't have to be to everyone. Like Spicy, you said you put the 2 words together, but I think there's liking something, and I think there's definitely when you're in love with someone, it's a more intense thing. It's more like it's accepting someone's flaws as well as their positives. Like you love them for everything, the good and the bad. You've seen them, you know, in their worst situations, at their ugliest situation. You know, you've seen everything. like,
I've heard
that-
I've heard
Yeah.
all
That
that
is
stuff.
lovely.
I understand the concept. It's just why is it that a polygamous relationship can't have more than one person you love in that case?
I see it as the same idea
on
as
an
like
emotional level.
I see it as like the same idea as like if you have multiple children, I guess. Like you wouldn't think of like if you apply the same situation
Nah,
to like
everyone has a favorite.
Favorite child, you know. Yeah.
exactly.
One
Like
has a favorite child.
you think that like the parents have a favorite child.
Every
They
parent
do.
has a
They
favorite
do.
child.
They just never see it. Like
They just never said
my,
it.
But
Yeah.
do
my
you love
mother's
them
favorite
less
child is
because of
Freya.
it?
You know, like they
But do you
don't.
love
It's not,
all of them less because
I put it this way, right? If you had 2 kids and you could only save one, you know which one you're going to be saving.
You know which one
you're
you're
gonna,
gonna
you're, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Karen, that's
if you were really pushed, if you were really
but it's
pushed,
the honesty of humanity. Like
it's just like we can't like we always have a preference for something or someone.
I feel
Yeah.
like okay. How about I feel like there's like different types of love too, in my opinion. Like
Yes.
Yeah, there
like
is.
you love the
Absolutely.
person, but I don't think it like one's like better than the other.
But it's like
in
you
my
said,
opinion,
Ken,
I feel like there's
Ken-
different, but
yeah, it's like I say I love you guys. Like I'm like love you. I love you guys, or like I'll say that to people in the Discord because I love them as my friends. They
So,
love to me. You know?
if you had a child, a love for your child is much different than a love for your husband or wife.
that is true.
Yeah. They do say it's stronger.
No, I
Like,
can
they-
agree with
like-
that.
Like there is different types of love,
It's
but
that
being
territorial,
being
animalistic thing,
being
you know?
in love, I think, is a separate thing on its own.
But that is
Mm.
also then comes the question, depending on the emotional maturity and emotional level on the different people.
Hmm.
Because, for
it's-
example, for me personally, I can't really, I don't really see the whole being in love thing. Maybe I'm just a bit too grey on the subject.
Yet, Spicy, you
Oh.
don't see it yet. because
Yes, okay,
haven't
that's what people
experienced it
say,
yet.
but I
Okay.
don't know. I waited quite a few years, but we'll see.
So did I.
I'm gonna throw Verdi in here. Let's see.
Yes,
go ahead.
ready.
No, so I definitely think because people are very different emotionally, and there's not
Yeah,
just
they
one
are.
straight way to go. Some
I
people never
absolutely-
might never be in love, as you call it, but they
Yeah,
can
but
still
that-
love somebody.
I absolutely agree with you. I do think some people just won't like. I do think that is true. I do think, you know, I think it all
Some
depends
people might
on your
not feel it.
emotional experience. I think it's all to do with how you like how you grow up as well and what you take in as a child and like how your brain develops and
even,
stuff. Like
like-
I think that's all down to it.
I-
But again, isn't it like every situation dies down to the individual person? Like it
Well,
does.
yeah, exactly. Because before I met you, Sean, I had no intention of ever getting married.
Or having kids.
Oh,
or
like I used to be one of those people that said that I'd never get married. I didn't really have an interest in like really big, like commitments in relationships. But like it just took me meeting Shauna to change that for me.
But that doesn't mean it's going to happen for everyone.
No,
like
but
that.
like I'm just the point being is you don't know
until it hits you.
until it might hit you. Like anything can
Like
change.
like a big bag of bricks into the face.
Like you don't know who you're gonna meet tomorrow. You don't know what's gonna happen a week from now. You don't know where you're gonna be in 5 years' time. Like if I were to go back like it's 7 years and say in a year you're going to be in a relationship with Shauna and you're going to be moving over to Ireland, like that would have been like
What?
that
What
would
are
have
you
been
talking
like
about?
that would have been
I can understand what Spicy's saying as well. Like, I think people's perceptions of love can be different.
I agree
like
with that.
I understand absolutely completely, but like, and this, at the same time, like you have someone like Karen who was like that, who didn't really like see things that way, and then like he met me. He met
Were you about to like were you about to put yourself on a pedestal there? That beautiful, amazing Shauna.
And I
No,
have
but
a
definitely,
princess
definitely there's-
complex. Come on, I have a princess
No, but definitely,
complex.
I completely agree with you there, Shauna, because people can change definitely, and I consider
Yeah.
myself very emotionally grey or cynical, as some people would call it.
Yeah.
At the moment, of course, I could change. Maybe I won't, but
Karen was a very emotionally cynical. If I was like, he never saw that himself, but I always saw him that way. Like he was always just very cynical about things. He still is at
I still can
times.
be, yeah.
But yeah, he did like you're saying, you don't know, like, and he didn't know, and it happened, like, But yeah, I understand. I understand where you are, and like, I can't say exactly I understand how you're feeling, but I get you. I get
Yeah,
you, Spicy.
you get me. Oh,
Yeah,
thanks.
I get you. I
No.
get you.
No, so that's why I come from this point of view that I do believe that you can have more, like, be in love, quotation mark, with more than one person.
That's like, yeah, fair enough, but I do think it's a different
It's
type
from
of love.
just my perspective, yeah.
I think that's a very different type of love to being like in love with a singular partner. I think it's very different.
So in that case, being in love and love somebody, let's say you're in a polygamous relationship with, let's say now Karen and Ken's, you're all polygamous.
Fucking
would it be considered cheating? Because you're cheating on the person you're in love with, but you still love both.
No, because if that
Well,
person
if-
signed up to that polygamous relationship, then
this is someone mentioned this in the chat earlier. Who was it? I can see it there.
Oh, no,
Yvonne
everybody
Cherry,
has, like, if it's considered
if
a
it's all
relationship, it
considered
has to be.
mutual, if it's a like
Yeah.
then
it's all
no,
consensual, like,
no, it's not cheating, is it?
yeah.
Because if it's
Well,
if
consensual,
No, of course,
sorry,
but then
sorry.
but then you have the premise of everybody agreeing on it from the beginning.
that's what I'm saying. If everyone
Yeah.
has agreed to it from the beginning,
You would be in a polygamous relationship without having agreed on it first. So, like, that.
Fluffy just said it best. It's only cheating when you break the rules of the relationship.
Yeah,
that you've set
yeah.
up and defined.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
We did it.
Absolutely fluffy.
We defined it.
Mm.
And Vert, do you have any we just threw you into this.
Yeah, hi, Bert.
Like, do you
In the
have any
middle of
questions or anything that you will like? Should we catch you up?
No, I'm just like listening into whenever I can hop it right in.
Okay.
Because I just got home, so I'm still
are you
like
settling in?
setting some stuff up. Yeah, I just got my bottle of Jaeger open right now, so
my God.
Perfect.
Bert.
He's on the right sort of
Yeah.
juice for this conversation.
I'm
You
already
can
Oh, no,
never
why are you,
come-
why are
done
you
with my
laughing?
liquor.
Why are you laughing already?
Exactly. Why are you laughing?
Lighting up the mood.
Already done with my liquor, so we're set to go.
Yeah, you're so smart, Fluffy. You're just a genius.
Guys, totally off topic, but I'm getting pizza tonight. I can't wait.
Oh, nice.
Vert, do you
Yeah,
have any?
totally off topic. Like, I just think like everyone should watch Fate Zero. It's really hot guys.
Fuck off,
Great
Sean.
to get.
That's not time for plugging the show now.
I mean, like, if Fate Zero want to sponsor, like, the
Yeah, 'cause
creator,
that's
if
what
they
they
want
gotta
to
do.
sponsor Ken's,
That's what they
I'm trying to help you out here.
I don't want the sponsorship.
How? Oh my gosh. Oh my god. That's upsetting.
Getting kind of back on topic, you should definitely like get Tifa in your life because that's all you ever need. It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
only
Because
love
then you
you'll
can
ever
never
need.
actually, you wouldn't need
Or
to
more
cheat on anyone.
waifus. Okay,
Oh.
like with Tifa,
Oh,
a lot
I
of
know.
people like Tifa. How would you feel about that?
I mean,
if some
I
other
can
person
like
claims it's like
Tifa.
Tifa's mine.
Look, like
I have a
they
good
can all
question, though.
like Tifa. I just love Tifa, so there's a big difference right there from the start.
I think you should settle
So I
this
have a
in
great
like a
question.
Hunger Games arena. Whoever wins gets Tifa.
Spicy, I think Spicy. Are you thinking about a question that I'm thinking about?
I think you're thinking about the thing. We'll see. So,
Is it cheating? Go on, I'll let you do it.
is it cheating if you have a waifu and a girlfriend? Are you cheating on your girlfriend or your waifu, depending on it?
No, because I don't know really if that's the case with Sean and Karen at the moment, but they both love Zero Two.
I mean,
Well,
she
one
did-
loves
she's a big
more
fan.
than the other.
Here's a different twist on it. Is it cheating if this is going a bit off. It's kind of similar to what Spice was saying, but it's also going a bit off on it as well. Would it be considered cheating if, let's say, the man was in a relationship with a woman and then he really loved his waifu, so he maybe got like a waifu body pillow that maybe had a waifu flashlight.
No,
Like,
no,
it's like what? Like what?
Karen.
How do you what do you think
Yes,
about
great
that?
question, Karen. I love it.
Like, but no, realistically, I'm being genuinely serious.
No,
like,
yeah. No, I love it. I love the question.
from the wife,
Body pillow, I can understand.
no, but like I'm trying to say, from that other person in the relationship, if they find out about that, like,
I mean, I'd be like, gone. I'd be gone. I'd be like, no, that's too fucking far. No. Body
Shauna,
pillow, yes, but your addition, no.
Shauna,
like.
you come home seeing Karen with the body pillow of his waifu and a flashlight. How do you?
I mean, I'm gone, Spicy. I'm fucking like, what is wrong with
but
this
babe, I was
man?
thinking about you the entire time. I swear.
Now Sean
not
will
what it
just
looks
whip
like.
out her like massive like Zero Two body pillow instead.
Like
My body
one,
pillow
I
is
have
better
one.
than your.
I mean, what am I meant to do with a flashlight? Like, what am I meant to do with it?
You could use it to store things, like
I just hate that this is.
Store
I
things.
hate the word. The fact the word flashlight actually even came up in this conversation. Karen, like, honestly, like, oh.
You can use it as like a water bottle sleeve.
Oh my god, Vert.
Ugh.
Vert. Please,
What?
you know what? They are just. I
Look,
just
Honestly,
don't
I
like
did
the
not expect
items
this
can
to
idea.
have
happen.
multiple uses.
This
Items
is
can
like-
have multiple uses, so
But look,
It's totally fine.
a genuinely serious answer to the question, like, would that be considered cheating, or is that just like?
No, that's
Somebody-
not considered cheating. That's just fucking weird.
So
That's
it's not
weird.
cheating. So it's not cheating. So you're open
No,
to
it's
it.
So it's not cheating. Okay, there we have
But
it.
it's not cheating because the person isn't
No.
real. They're not real. So how is it cheating?
It
if
can
it's
be
not-
it can be real for the other person though.
Emotional.
It could be real for them.
Yeah,
it can be
exactly.
real for them, but if you're a fucking mature adult that understands the difference between reality and fucking fantasy, then you know that it's not real. Like, it's not real. They're not a real
So,
person.
but Shauna, what's the difference between a flashlight and a dildo?
Oh,
Why are you
why are we
winding me
going?
up?
Why are we going towards this?
No, this is what happens
No, but that's
every
what I
time
mean.
I get
It's
into
the
this
same thing. It's the
situation.
same
TOS.
thing.
TOS.
They're absolutely not the same thing. Like, I just think, like,
What?
just no. No.
So guys don't get any toys.
No, because you know what? You can just, like, whip it out whenever you want to. Like, it takes way more time for a girl. Like, that's why they need way more stuff. So I'm sorry, but, like, it's easier for men. So, no, you don't get a flashlight. That's just no. You just don't. No. Ban him. If I became the president of the world, I'd be banning him.
Banning all toys?
No.
Just flashlights.
Flashlights,
Okay,
'cause,
okay.
like, even
Just
the
only
word
male toys.
flashlight is it's just grim. Like, it's just grim. Ken's is
Feel
gonna
like-
be cutting
feel like
this.
I'll
I'm
be
opening
cutting
up a bag
this.
of worms.
This will be
No,
cut
I'm
when
just
it's
messing
going
with
to
you.
YouTube.
Yeah, this can be the. I'll put it on the Patreon page.
Yes.
Toastie ChatBar after dark.
It'll be called burnt toast.
Burnt toast. Burnt Toastie ChatBar.
Burnt toast comes up so much though, like, doesn't it? Like burnt toast.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's
People in my I know some people in the chat. They're like, we don't usually go for these topics.
no,
Oh,
we
fair enough,
don't
fair
usually
enough.
go for these topics. Yes, they do.
Try
Yes,
to
they
pull,
do.
try
Don't
to,
let them
you
lie
pull
to
all
you.
this out when it's not your stream.
I can talk about like. I mean, I've talked about raunchy stuff on my stream. Have.
Yeah.
I mean,
like, I have to be.
I think
pulled
this is
back
the first time I've said the
sometimes.
word fleshlight out loud.
I really wish you'd stop saying it, Karen.
No,
Like,
it's
trying to
fine. We
go
can
for
jump off. We can jump to the next question if
Yeah,
you're
let's
going.
go- let's
going
go
Yeah,
to the
let's
back.
Alright,
go
let's jump
back
into the
to
next
the
question. I feel like I jumped from I think we kind of went through all of it, but like I didn't ask the question directly. Let's see the next one. Okay. You're hanging out with a group of your friends, and your friend and your partner always talk a lot and focus on each other a lot
Yeah,
in a group setting.
I think in a
I
group
think
setting,
it's fine. Absolutely fine.
It's
Again,
fine.
this all comes back down to context.
Yeah, it does.
Like, are they messaging them all the time? Like,
No, but they're
when
their
you're-
friends. They're their friends.
No, like you're
You're
like
with
no
your
no like
friends.
you're like if like you're
It,
let's
it
see.
would be their friend too.
Karen
though.
is hanging out with your group of friends, Shauna, I guess.
Karen's
Like,
hanging with
Karen
Shin.
Karen doesn't really know them, like, but then when they got like in, Karen sits down and talks to this one other person specifically, only that
Mind
person.
that. I don't really mind that. I don't
Don't-
really care.
No, you don't care.
No, I think if they get on well, they get on well. Like what? That just makes me look insecure, like, and sad. If I'm like, why are you always talking? I'm like, no, like you. But again, like, like
Okay.
it's the thing of me and Karen are secure in our relationship, so I'm not gonna feel,
I think it
But
depends if it
it
was
depends on
how
the
if it was
situation.
flirtatious. Like, if it was very obviously, clearly flirtatious.
He makes a really good point. In this situation, I would be happy that they're getting close. You'd want your partner.
I'd
your
like my.
friends to be
I'd
close.
love nothing more than in a situation where your significant other and your friends are close, because that means you can bridge those two things together, and your friend, like, because a lot of the times when you get into relationships, it's sometimes it can be this balancing act of you have to spend time with your friends, and sometimes they can get a bit weird if you're spending too much time with your new girlfriend, or your new girlfriend could be like, why aren't you spending more time with me? So if you can combine those two things, cool. But like I said, if like it's a case of it's one, if it's like the girl's going up to like one of your friends and they're being all like huggy and it's kind of like really flirtatious.
Like Scarlet Ruby said there, touchy and gooey. I think touchy, it depends on the person, because you could be very expressive with your hands and just that type of person as well. You might be doing that as an intentional, like, do you know, like, you don't mean it that way. Like, people are just very hands-on with the way they are, It's like someone who has a naturally flirty personality. That doesn't mean that they like you. Like, that's just their personality,
So body language.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You are going to know if someone's into someone, like, well, you're actually not. You've no idea but the person themselves, actually. I take that back. You've no idea. You don't know. You can't read someone's mind. Do you know? Like, I think it's this case of, like, I know I'm probably sounding a bit contradictory as well, but I don't think you should judge someone unless you know them, like, unless you know them really well. Like, if you see, like, I hate that, like, bitchiness amongst girls going, oh, she's very flirty now with him, like, and he's my fella, but she's been very, like, no, she's just being friendly, like, that's just the way she is.
A lot of people do assume that when a woman in a friend group is like friends with the boys, that it's like, oh, she's definitely into him.
I think
Just
that mentality,
it's just
awful.
it is kind of stupid mentality. Like,
It's
in
immaturity,
like hanging out in a group of friends and your friend and your partner always talk a lot. Like, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all.
Well, it's
I think
always the same. Like, it's always every single time with that group, it's always them just talking.
I mean, if it's like just them, if they're going off on their own, like, that's a bit weird. But like if they're in the group and they're talking, like, I don't think it matters.
It's kind of like
I
in a
mean,
group, it's like a casual thing. I'm thinking like you're all hanging in a group, but then
Picnic,
you're
yeah.
in like your partner and your friend are in like off in their little corner talking, I guess. Like, you still see them, and you can still hear them,
I mean-
but then they're just like
If you can still hear him and you can still see him, then I don't think it. Like, why would you care? Because then you're just gonna be in like, then you just look like a psychopath, being like, so why are you hanging about with him? Why go?
You know,
Why
you
why don't you go talk to Carl instead of Billy?
you
Why are you talking to
you're-
Billy so much?
It's like a controlling kind of thing,
Yeah.
like, you know, it's uncomfortable.
Again, if it's flirtatious, then you kind of be like, eh? And then if they're like, if you find them texting them when they're with you and stuff as well, it's be like, eh? But like, I think like general friendships are fine. Like, it doesn't really matter.
It's
But don't
like
you think
my-
it can cause suspicion?
Well, like, I'll tell you this, Spicy, right? Like, on the day of my wedding, I had on my bridesmaids say, like, Karen's arse looks unreal, like, in his pants. Like, oh my god.
okay,
like,
this is TOS. Okay.
No, it's not though. It's not really TOS though, because it's not. It's
No,
not,
no.
you know, it's not like.
I'm
But
joking.
like they all came up right, and they were like, "Jesus, his arse looks great in those pants." I'm not going to be like, "Well, fuck you, like," you know, like, and like my friends have already dibs. Like if I'm ran over, like, and I'm dead, that you know, Lisa is his first wife, and if something happens to her, then Sarah, my friend Sarah, gets, you know, it's all like, you know, I just think you need to be able to relax in
But
those
I think
situations.
there's a big situation here as well. There's been a time where Lisa has came over to this house and just hung out with me when you
Yeah,
haven't even been in the house, and that's totally fine.
Yeah, I
because we're
didn't even. I
friends.
didn't have a
Really?
second thought about
Okay.
it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't.
because we're friends. I mean, what does it matter? She came back
Yeah.
because
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
what,
Yeah.
what was I showing her?
What's that game with the new
Hellblade.
Hellblade.
She only had a PlayStation and she didn't know if she wanted to buy Hellblade or not. I said, well, I have it on Game Pass, so like come over and we'll just play through it. So we did. Shauna was at work. I was off work. Elisa was off work. She came over. We just chilled, played Hellblade.
Chill for the day.
Chilled, played Hellblade. Had like I had a couple of coffees and stuff, and we just kind of hanged out. Like,
Damn.
and
Okay.
Shauna was just at work.
Yeah.
But, like, it was totally fine. Like,
It's
because
absolutely fine.
it's trust. At the end of the day, do you know what I mean?
Like, I know, like, they're not.
Well, yeah,
gonna be
it's
the-
always about
Lisa,
trust.
and Lisa was someone. Lisa's someone who, like, Shauna knew Lisa longer than me, but we became friends with Lisa at the same time.
Yeah, we did.
Like around about our wedding,
Yeah.
because like that's
We got to know Lisa. Like, she's a sister of my friend from school. But like me and Lisa ended up, like, when I got to know her through her brother, like we found we so much in common that we became best friends. And then like Karen met her at the same time, and he just really like loved her personality,
vibe,
and
yeah. It's nice.
gravitated towards her. You know, it's not that, like, that's not something to be insecure about. That's nice, like, that we can have this really good mutual friend that's, you know, a girl, like, as well, Lisa's bisexual, so Lisa could, like, Karen could have the same worries as me and Lisa are on her own.
Exactly,
You know what
but
I
I
mean?
don't care,
So
like.
it doesn't matter. Like, it absolutely doesn't matter. So I
Fair.
put this at a 1. I put this at a 1.
Big one.
Oh.
If I could go 0, I'd put it at fucking 0. to be
Damn.
honest.
Okay.
Again, it does depend on the situation. All these depend on context, but for my own context and my own understanding of things, it's getting a -1.
My okay.
Yeah,
I mean-
I agree with Karen.
It depends on the situation for me in this case. Obviously, when it comes to all of this relationship, it all comes down to trust, no matter what. But I'm trying to see past the trust just to get a like more of a situation going here. But in this case, I probably would put it at like a 2. Mainly because it depends completely on the situation. Like,
Yeah.
sure, if you invite your partner to a friend, like your friends, and they've never met, and they start hanging out, like they click with one of the people, and they start hanging out with only that person ever. They don't really talk to anybody else throughout the whole evening. You're like, oh well, but I'm sure, like, come over and sit and talk with the other people, or like talk with me at the same time. You know, it starts becoming a little bit. How do you say it? It's I wouldn't say like if it's a one-time thing, definitely not suspicious at all. But like if it becomes every time, like for every party, every
That, you could also look
gathering.
at that example that you're making as that person could just, like, you know, when you are going to bringing your partner to a group of people they don't know and they've met this person, like, that could just be who they're comfortable hanging out with for the party. Do you know what I mean? Like, or the situation.
No, definitely, I can agree
Fair.
with that.
Fair.
But wouldn't they also be comfortable talking with you during the party?
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like realistically, I mean, look, yeah, look.
Again,
if
situational.
if your girlfriend and your friend are really good friends, then there's no reason why the three of you can't just sit
Just-
down and chill
yeah.
and chat as well. But
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
there is, of course, there's going to be situations like at a party. Let's say you get held up talking to someone, and they're just talking to each other in the corner. Like that shouldn't be an issue. It's not like your partner's
definitely
looking
not.
over you saying, "Who's he talking to?" Do you know what I mean? It's like
No,
that's just-
exactly.
That's just life. But I mean, I guess in
That's
the way
natural.
Spicy, you brought up a good point. Like if it's maybe a case of like they're very clearly
Clutched onto them.
excited to see them only, then you kind of
Yeah,
like
That is sus.
maybe they're just coming to these group meetings just to see that one person. You're kind of like
Yeah.
kind of weird.
So that's was my point about it's not being just in general. Oh, they like only talking with this person because they click. I definitely see that during parties, but in these situations where they are glued to one person, it doesn't really, try to interact with anybody else.
Yeah, then it's a bit weird. Yeah.
It
I agree.
starts getting suspicious after like the third or fourth gathering with friends.
Yeah, you're kind of like, okay, something's going on here. Like, this is a bit strange. This is
I mean, but then
fucking
it also
weird.
comes down to communication because I definitely have a chat with my girlfriend in that case after the first or second time. Like, oh, you're getting along quite well.
Yeah.
Have you talked to anybody the other people?
Yeah,
Stuff like that, just
that's what
talking
you'd
it.
ask. You'd be like, did you talk to, like, did you chat with anyone else?
Like,
Like,
what do you
did
think of my
talk to them?
friends, or something like that, or like, how's it
Yeah.
going, and
Yeah,
depending on their answer. Like, oh, I love
Yeah.
everyone. Like, really everyone. Alright.
Vert, did you have anything to jump in on that?
No, not really. Like, again, it's all like very context sensitive in
Yeah.
all those cases.
That's the thing with like the topic of cheating is it's all like down to context, isn't it? Like all these situations are all down to the situation,
Yes.
and what led up to this, and what are the added on factors, and do you see? But like, I like that Spicy's able to like me and Karen like we'll go what we know, but like Spicy, you are like right to like well not I mean I don't mean right, but I mean like it's interesting that you bring up kind of like the devil's advocate of the because I find
Yeah.
that very hard to do. Like I do like I'm just gonna go by where my mind goes when
Your
you ask can I
values
do
and
that?
what you think.
Yeah. Like
No,
I
definitely.
don't judge other people on their choice like what they decide to do. I do on TV like reality stuff. Yeah, I'm like oh my god, it's dumb.
Those are
Like,
dumb.
what if it's my friend and stuff, and you've had like very big conversations about these things? Like you can definitely understand it more and maybe have some sympathy for the person because they're already probably like hating on themselves as it is and feeling like absolutely guilty and like that I don't know it's just this topic is like very like difficult. It's a
Open-ended
very
and really hard to balance kind of thing.
Yeah, really,
yeah, 'cause,
really
like
open-ended.
I don't want anyone to think that I would judge them. Like I wouldn't. I'd hear you out, and then I'd tell you what I think. But that wouldn't mean that I'd totally discredit you as a person.
No, also I
Don't
play
talk about
a little bit of the devil's advocate mainly because I can see it from that point of view. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean I believe it
Yeah.
because
Oh yeah,
personally
absolutely,
I wouldn't
absolutely.
mind. I wouldn't mind if my girlfriend started hanging out with one of my friends because actually that's what I prefer. I'd like them to start hanging out with friends more.
Yeah.
But I can also see it from a perspective of somebody being a bit more insecure.
Mhm.
If the other person starts acting a bit more suspicious about the situation in this case.
You can absolutely see it from someone else's standpoint of, that they might have, these trust issues or like it being this kind of weird thing. I can definitely see that side of it, yeah.
I'm gonna put a little break because I actually need to go to use the washroom. I drank a lot of coffee.
That's okay.
I'm gonna be right
That's
back.
okay.
Be back real
Fine.
quick.
All right. Yep, definitely.
Should I
I
throw
love
on?
this
Okay, go ahead.
animation. I love this little look at him like he's so vibey. Look, he's at sunglasses.
Cute as fuck.
I just think it's so neatly done, isn't it? It's just lovely.
God damn it, Fluffy going off in chat as usual.
I know, like, and I'm always the target. I
He
am the
just wants
victim.
Karen for himself.
Fluffy, Fluffy, you better be careful, like, or I'm not paying for your next sub, like, I'm just saying that right now.
Oof. Oh, you're on thin ice now, mate.
Be careful, Fluffy. Watch your words. Or I don't know. I like when me and Karen are talking about excuse me, Fluffy. When me and Karen are talking about cheating, like towards each other, like me and Karen both agreed, you know, if one of us ever caught each other doing it, well, we know we won't, but if one of us, that's it. Like that's that. No, done. Like absolutely done. Because we just wouldn't be able to trust each other, you know. But that's like us
Yeah.
together is what I mean. Like we both
Well, yeah,
agreed
between
on
you and
that.
Karen, yeah.
Yeah, we both
It's
had
kind of
the
the same
discussion. Like
for me.
yeah,
I'm not going to go into too much now. It might pop up in other
Okay,
questions, but
I'm back.
because of my family situation, I'm also welcome back. I'm also in that sense of if my girlfriend were to cheat on me, that'd be it.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So, but that's also I won't go into detail of it, but it might
No,
pop in. If there's more questions later, I can definitely go
There's
into
like
it.
two. I don't think it'll pop up. Maybe we'll see.
We'll see.
Well, you're always open to like talk about it. We don't have to follow the structure.
Well,
I
yeah,
just put
yeah,
the
no,
structure in, so like
thank you, Galaxy.
no,
I
that's
mean,
fair.
I definitely think that is there for like you do have that opportunity to get that in life. I think like to put it to you this way, Galaxy, if Karen hadn't bought a PlayStation and hadn't joined Tumblr and I hadn't stumbled upon one of these YouTubers' videos, and we ended up both being invited by two different completely different people into a Skype call. Like, think about all those instances and how me and Karen like ended up meeting. Like, I definitely think that I do believe in fate a little bit. I do believe in like destiny and all that kind of stuff. Like there was just too many weird coincidences for that to come about. So
The
Like that,
like
streamer.
that's
you
that's
Oh,
when
can
you
get
know.
it.
That's when you know, like you have a like solid, long relationship when you met through Skype.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can manage Skype, I mean, then it's meant to be.
Hey,
yeah, that's true.
Scarlet
Yes.
Ruby, you know what? Don't be sad about it. Like my friend is sad about being single at the minute, and I said to her, "There is no rush with anything, is there, guys? There's no
No.
rush with anything. It will come into your life when it's meant to. Don't
Yeah,
put yourself
that's
Oh,
down.
that's
You
like the
have to,
mindset I
uh,
have. So because I've
yeah,
never been in a relationship myself, so also like
yeah,
talking about
no,
this kind of things, I can like talk from like personal experience, but
hmm
I'm not even bothered by it. I know that like some things aren't just meant to be, or things still need to come. So I'd leave
yeah,
that up to fate.
I
yeah.
My
mean,
my
great
stance
example
on
is
it is
I
go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, sorry,
And if
and I
it's
was
not,
just gonna say that. Oh, you meant to verse my bad.
No,
yeah,
I
just to
meant
close that
either.
off, like just to close that off, like, and if fate doesn't decide, I can always go back to Tifa or Saber or anyone else. Like,
I do think I
Fair
do
enough.
think you need to put yourself out there as well, like that. Like I joined the community and like I just got lucky that way, like it's putting yourself into situations where you could meet someone. That you don't always think of it that
Well, if
way,
the
but
not
just
like
like
the
meeting
intention to look
people
for
in
someone.
general. Just meeting people in general, that is the best way that, sorry, I'm banging my cable. That's the best way that you're gonna have that happen for you, I definitely believe.
Definitely, like for me as an example, I'm 27 now, and I've never really been in a long relationship except now. I've mostly been in like these short 1, 2, 3 month relationships ever since forever. To be honest, and I've been in a few ones.
Mm.
But like it doesn't really happen. Like it's how do you say it? Like it comes when it comes. It happens when it happens.
Yeah,
It's
you
more
can't.
not. It's more
I
about being open for it, not looking for it.
Yeah, you can't. That's exactly it. You can't just be thinking about it all the time. Don't be
yeah,
constantly going like, when is this going to happen to me? When is this? It's not happening yet. Like you
yeah, and
can't.
like
If there's
this is
no,
how. Sorry,
no, you're fine. No, go on, go on.
as isn't that like more of like the more exciting thing about it, that you kind of don't know
When it's going to happen.
when it's gonna
Yeah.
happen? Isn't that like the surprise factor of okay, like I could like meet my one like tomorrow or next week or next month or maybe 10 years from now.
Don't know.
Isn't
That's
that
the fun thing.
isn't that kind of something like
The
something
surprise
to
factor is
really
the
look
best.
out? Yeah, something to look out for and get excited for when it actually does happen.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really nice and positive way of looking at it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Rand, do you have any more questions?
I think I have a few more. Let's see, what do we have?
Yeah, I second what Ken's put in the chat there. Follow Jaslyn. Their art is amazing.
Oh,
I
amazing
love it.
art, definitely.
Really cute, really
It's
funny.
cute. Kissing somebody when your partner was intoxicated.
Oh,
Oh,
7,
okay,
8,
okay.
9,
So
10,
I just want
100.
to, I just want to say something first. So this has happened several times for me, but with
Oh.
friends, male
Oh.
friends.
Different. That is
But
different.
that is, I have to say, like, is that considered cheating? Like, let's say, because I'm very uh, positive about my sexuality in itself, and
Yeah,
I
you're
know,
comfortable.
yeah, I'm very comfortable with it, so I don't mind these things. But I've kissed male friends before during parties while being drunk. It has happened several times.
I came
Of course,
close.
I haven't been in, I haven't been in a a relationship at the moment, so I have nothing to go off of there. But would that be considered cheating?
I mean, I think it depends on the person you're kissing sexuality as well. Like, I think people look at it from that standpoint. Like, if I was to kiss like my friend Lisa, like, would Karen be like, well, she's bisexual. Like, that's uncomfortable for me because that could mean something else. I think there's that way of looking at it, but then there's another way of looking at it in another side of it being, oh well, we're all drunk and just having the laugh. And then there's someone that's just like, no, that's not okay. There's so many different ways of looking at that. I think it depends on who you're with in your relationship and what terms you set, like, what you're used to.
But not only that, like the sense of the way it is like a kiss is just a friendly kiss, or like it wasn't making out; it was more like a peck.
Yeah. It's very different if you're like totally like, Frenching it like.
Making out like all Frenchy tongue and
Smacking each
all.
other mouth.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's a bit much, like, you can get a peck on the
Because
lips, like a bit of a mwah, like that's whatever,
yeah,
like.
yeah. So that's what I'm considering like a kiss is, like just a peck on the lips. And I wouldn't. I honestly, if it was between friends,
What
I
if,
wouldn't really bother too much.
what if it's like a guy and girl, like friends?
I mean, if I knew how good friends they are, I'd probably question her about it the day after. Like, what was that about?
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
But because I just want to make sure that like you're just friends, right? That's like it creates suspicion,
Mhm.
definitely. But
And you need to clear that up. You need to
yeah,
talk that out.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
So
so
you
I'm
both
I'm just gonna
understand what
say
it is.
straight off the bat, this is gonna be a 2 or a 3 for me.
Yeah, I
Mainly
agree with
because
spicy.
I'd probably say a 2, mainly because I need to clear some things up before it will escalate or de-escalate.
Yeah, 2 as well for me. To be honest,
Really? I thought it'd be higher
I
for you
don't
guys. Okay,
disagree.
sorry.
For
Go ahead.
me, I'm back by the way. Sorry, I'm back.
He's
I
feeding
was
cats.
feeding the cats, but I was listening in on my phone. This is a big old. Was it out of 5, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a big old 5. Like I know you guys were saying if it was like a male, like if
So
it was
if
like a
me and
dude.
Lisa picked, would you be
Well,
annoyed?
no, because that's different.
Yeah,
That's
but
not the
there you
same.
go. Like
I'm talking
it's
about
all
like
about
I'm
context as well.
talking about if it was like some randomer or some like
Oh,
Someone
yeah.
you just
Mike.
met at the party.
Yeah, if it was someone you just
Oh,
met at the
definitely.
party, that's big no-no. Do you know
Oh,
what I
well,
mean?
yeah, like, yeah.
Like again, it does depend on the context. If it was like one of my guy friends and they just did it for a laugh, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. And I'm sure Sean will probably like whatever too.
Yeah, well, I think actually, you know what? Like, Ken's hasn't specified here, it's kissing somebody. It's not kissing a friend. So if it's kissing somebody, then it's fine.
If it's just
Very
some,
If it's
open-ended.
Yeah,
if
if
it's
it's
like
a mate, if it's a mate or
if it's
something,
even
then
if it's
2.
someone you know but you're not friends with, then that's a big no-no as well.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And it also, if it is kissing a friend, it also depends on what kind of kiss. Do you know
Well,
what I
yeah,
mean?
we went through that earlier.
Yeah.
Myself and Shauna said it was more of a peck on the lips, like not
Mwah.
full off French makeout.
Ooh.
Mwah.
Even peck on the lips feels like, I don't know, very intimate for
Wasn't
me.
it-
Okay,
I
how
don't
about a
think it
peck
does.
on the cheek then? A peck on the
Cheek
cheek.
is a little bit lower, but like, I don't know.
I'm
Like-
kind of like, what are you doing kissing my girlfriend's cheek?
But what about when you're like your little sister or something like gives you a peck, like?
I feel like if it was like
It would be
like a
different.
sister relationship, I'd be like, I kissed them on the head or something, like,
Yeah, well, like I have like my little sisters were like giving me kissing the lips since they were like 5, like a peck, because they're only tiny, like
Yeah, but that's your sisters. Like,
Yeah.
this is someone at a party.
Yeah, okay, fine. Look, I think if it's what me and Spicer are saying a 2, if it's what Karen's saying a 5, yeah.
500.
Well,
Okay.
Does it
I could
change? Does it change if they're not intoxicated?
No,
No, it's cheating. It's
it's
cheating.
still it's the same thing. Same thing.
I never. If someone does something and they say, "Oh, I did it
You
because
could
when I
just be
was
having
drunk,"
like you don't have to be
No, but, like-
Okay,
intoxicated
fair.
or
if
Yeah.
your partner cheated on you and they tried to use the excuse "I was drunk," I'm like, I don't care.
I hate
If
that.
you were drunk
Yeah,
or
yeah.
sober.
I despise that. So no, I definitely agree. The intoxication, it doesn't really matter in this sense, in this situation for me.
Yeah, you do what you
But
do.
definitely, if it's like let's just like you said, like if it's between friends, if it's a female or male, and it depends on how good friends they are, definitely, I'd probably go for a 2.
Yeah.
But if it's just some random person, or maybe I don't know them, it might be one of their friends, but I don't know them. Then yeah, I'd
Ooh,
probably bump it up to a 4.
There's
okay.
gonna be a serious conversation on the taxi home. That
Exactly.
It always comes down to the conversation. I need to
Yeah.
have some communication about what went down, what
Yeah.
are their thoughts, feelings about what happened.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's all the questions I have. Let me check.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Well, do you know what? It's been an hour and 40 minutes, and what,
Yeah.
what an
Oh,
hour and 40
I see.
minutes.
I know you guys are hungry, so like, I could
No,
I
it's
could
I've
keep
already
going,
eaten.
but like,
I enjoyed this.
Yeah, this was great fun, like honestly. It's interesting.
What way are you planning on the episode scheduling, Kens? Is it going to be like an episode a week? Is it going to be like...
I'll try to do an episode a week.
If it's an episode a week, I definitely like to be there every week.
Yeah, I
Nice,
enjoyed
okay.
this.
So
Yeah,
It'll
I'm
probably
down
be
to do this
around
all the
this
time.
this much, like around like an hour, maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, me and
So-
Karen are absolutely down to do this all the
Awesome.
time.
Okay.
I'm just gonna give you guys with a funny one here right towards the
Yeah,
end
go
from
on.
personal experience.
Okay.
I just because I'm curious and it might be funny to hear what you're thinking. So you have a boy and a girl, and they just got together. And the girl finds out that the guy lives with a female friend and also has plenty of female friends.
Is that you?
How would you see that relationship? Yes, it is me.
That's like me too. That's like me too. I have a lot of
I
female
mean,
friends.
it wouldn't bother me. It wouldn't
Like, I'll
bother
put
me.
it this way, right? So, Spicy, you're living with another girl, is that right? It's like that's your
Yes.
roommate, or your housemate is another
Flatmate.
girl.
Yeah.
And have you like, let's say you were living with them already, and then you meet someone, and like you get in a relationship, and then that person in your relationship is like, "Well, you never told me that you live with the girl." I'm just kind of like, well, I mean, it's just my roommate. Like, you know, I'd just kind of be like,
Get over it.
Like, if I
Yeah.
wanted to date them,
I'd
then
be
why
dating them.
why
They
why
would.
am I talking to you? Do you know, like,
Exactly.
I think it should be that sort of mentality. Like, I think, like, come on, like,
Would
there's
it
big
change if
difference
you had a
So-
history together?
I mean,
Oh,
if you had a history
Exactly,
together,
I was
and
why
you
would
just
said
about to
they
say, I
live
was just about to
together
say
then? Like that to me would be fucking
It's
stupid.
like
Like, why are you
it's
living
like
together?
imagine like a mutual friends with benefits kind of thing.
That you're not really out of things with them, so why are you looking for other people?
like, you know, that's putting the person you're in a relationship with in a bit of a balance.
Yeah, that's not fair.
That's true.
That's not
Yeah.
fair to do
Yeah,
that
I
to
agree with
someone.
that. Yeah.
I don't
So-
think that's fair.
Also,
Does
it's
it
called
change if
history,
the
so
roles
they had
change?
history, so it's over.
Still think
Sorry,
history.
what?
If it's history in general, I think if you're living with someone you've dated and you're now in a new relationship, you're still living with that person, and the new person knows that that person is your like ex or whatever. That's just a bag of worms waiting to like go bleh. I just don't think that's look, it's not impossible, but I just think that's a very like sort of situation.
Complicated, very rough terrain to go into.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So Karen and Ken's, I guess I'm directing this towards the guys for this one.
Fine.
If
Fine. Wow.
so, Charlotte, because the first one was more directed towards you in that
I get
sense.
it. I get it. I get it. It's
Uh,
fine. It's fine.
But if it's the reverse roles, you start dating a girl in this situation, and then after a little bit, you get together, you find out, oh shit, wait, they live with a guy friend that they're pretty close with. How would you react to that? What was
I don't care because I've been in that situation before, like where like I've been with someone and they have a really really close friend who's a boy. Like that don't bother me because like it's like what I said. It comes down to the thing of if they were interested in them, then like why are they coming? Why are they in a relationship with you? Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like you just. It also comes down to the fact of you can't just automatically assume that just because a boy and a girl are friends that there's something going on between them. Do you know what I mean? Um, I think you have to owe that person a bit more trust. Like
That's
for me
definitely a
personally,
logical answer.
I wouldn't care. Like as long as like if I was going over to their place and it was just very clear that they were just friends, like you don't care. If you were going over to their place and like the dude was being like really weird and kind of scared, like every time you came around he was being super weird as if like you were in his territory, then I'd maybe bring it up and being like, have you noticed he's being like this when I'm around? I'd maybe bring it up that way, but like for the most part, no, I don't think I'd care.
Okay, and
How
my
about
turn.
you, Ken's and Bert?
I would care a lot. I feel like I like logically I like it would make sense. Like they could be friends. I wouldn't care. Like I shouldn't care. But like emotionally, I think I do care. I think I do have like I would be kind of jealous. But I know logically like my partner is very loyal and very trusting, and she loves only me. But some part of me would feel like a little bit like I don't know, just like something wrong. But I think it's like an issue that I had to get over myself. It's not
Hmm.
really my partner's issue. It's like more a personal issue that I have that I need to
It's
fix.
yeah, I think that's your issue. That
Yeah, it's
like
definitely
it's
would be
more,
my issue.
but
But
it's not not to say it in a bad way, but like it's just your own insecurities getting
Yeah,
the better of
it
you
is.
in
It
that
is.
situation.
Like logically, I
but
know it's everything's fine, but like emotionally,
that is
like
the literally that's literally the definition of all relationship problems: the insecurities within yourself.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. It's all down to you as a person and your experiences and how they impact how you perceive things then, you know?
Bert, did you
Sorry.
have anything you want to comment on that question?
Well,
Well,
Keith definitely had
it's
a
more like that I'm usually like the kind of guy that will like at least try to see the better side in people. So in a case like this, it's more like if I were in a relationship with this girl, then I would like want to get and trying to get to know her better. Like if she would tell me like, oh yeah, I live with guys and anything, it's like okay, how's that like? And but that's more like the curiosity I have for like like at the start of a relationship, I would say.
Hmm.
So if she would be like, okay, I'm in like a student complex with like three guys and I'm the only girl. I'm like, okay, so how's that like? And how's it living with them? Are they like obnoxious or anything, or and how are they like? Because
Yeah, no, definitely.
'cause they could also be like those kind of guys who because she would be like the only girl in like their little group that are living together that are really protective
Yeah.
or they're just assholes or whatever. So I'm also like trying to get that information so I can kind of like I think like try to get on their good side is too strong of a word, but at least like be like to not be of a nuisance to them as well.
Yeah.
Fair enough. At the start, what you said is actually very similar to what my girlfriend said regarding this situation. So I'll give you guys the conversation I had between myself and my girlfriend. So, because she's not very confrontational at all, but I confronted her about this because eventually, after a while, I asked her, "So how do you feel about me living with a female friend and having so many female friends?" And she said she was a bit worried at the start, but then she started thinking, "Well, you wouldn't really be dating me in this situation if it wasn't the case that you
Exactly.
already were hanging out with your flatmate or your other female friends."
I mean, like that's it. That's the key, isn't it? It's like you've just got to like think about it a bit logically. Like if yeah, like it doesn't matter if you're living with someone who's a girl. Like if if you were like, you wouldn't be dating that person if you were also trying to get into your roommate's pants. I don't know. I just think I think it's like we were saying though. It's insecurities and it's all that sort of stuff that it once you're feeling insecure about something, that's going to overtake logic in any situation.
Yeah.
I think. Um, like I, I don't know. Like I said, for me personally, it wouldn't bother me. I could totally understand how it could bother some people, 100%. Like Ken's was saying, like it would bother him, but Ken's acknowledges that he knows that that's just his own self, like esteem or his insecurities or whatever.
Yes.
But like I wouldn't if I knew someone and they said, oh, my let's say my girlfriend's living with their guy friend and they're really close and I'm kind of bothered about it, I wouldn't turn around and say, oh, you're dumb for thinking that. Like I think it's normal to kind of be like a bit wary, but I think again it does depend on the situation and the context of their friendship. And it's like we were saying earlier, if there's history there, then like that's red flag immediately. But like if it's like your situation, Spicy, where it's just kind of like you've just your roommate or your housemate just so happens to be like a girl, then it's kind of
Yeah.
like whatever. Do you know, who
I mean,
cares?
in this situation, living here is fairly expensive. You want to be living two people in the flat.
Yeah, you need someone
And
to help bear the load of rent.
exactly. And in this case, we both
And we
have a
don't
very
discriminate
similar.
against gender when it comes to help paying bills.
Exactly. No, but
Only
in this
works with
situation, it was
money.
also a lot about we both have the same type of personality. So we're both very chill and we're both very introverted. In this case, it worked very
Yeah.
well living together.
Yeah. And look, sometimes like in those situations, I'm sure it has happened where some people have moved in with each other and
One
and
thing leads to
yeah, like I'm sure it's
another.
happened, but like at
Oh
the same
gosh.
time, but at the same time, if you've been living with that person for a while and then you're like getting into a relationship and like I think at that point it's kind of safe to assume, well, if they're looking to get into a relationship with someone else, then like there's nothing there. Do you know?
Yeah, it's
It's
done.
not.
It's dead.
It's not like Spicy's running home at the end of the evening to jump into bed with his roommate or anything. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Oh, Kens, I'm so proud of you for all of this. This has been really good.
Thank you for
Like
It was very fun
hopping
coming
in.
on. Very fun.
even like your topics and everything that the questions.
Very
they're
interesting
really
questions.
Fun, really
I just
fun,
mostly
it's
like
really
listening
fun.
to people. I don't like for me. I don't talk a lot. I don't like to provide. I like to provide my opinions from time to time, but like I mostly like hearing other people and like their point of view.
You're a very good like host. Like you'd be like a host of a game show, like kind of thing. You know, like I just see you doing that. You know, like you're amazing.
Thank you.
Now, if you
It was
only
very
would get
enjoyable.
like a Steve Harvey mustache, that would be perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll try.
Yeah.
But my Asian genetics can't handle that load.
Do you?
I believe in
do
you.
you know
Then
what
at least try to get the Mr. Miyagi like mustache
Oh,
then.
okay,
Exactly.
Mr. Miyagi was Japanese. Japanese have really good facial hair.
What?
Do you know
No,
the...
they don't.
Some not like compared to other, but like compared to other Asians, they
Yeah,
have
no,
the
that's
most.
fair. Yeah,
They
that's
have
fair.
facial hair.
Do you know
Okay,
what the
yeah, that's
topic is
fair.
going to be for next week?
I planned it
have
out
you
a
thought
bit.
about it?
Being single in a relationship.
Being what?
That sounds
Being single
fun.
or in a
Single.
relationship. Just
Like
the
the
difference
difference?
between like the
Both.
pros and cons of
Of
both
both.
of
Oh,
both.
Yeah,
that'll
that'd
be
be
interesting.
interesting.
That'll be interesting.
That's
I
a
have
funny one.
so many opinions, Karen.
I mean, I think we can ban Sean and Karen from this one.
Karen, I think it's time that we have this conversation.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
I was kind of wary because like I'm not sure how it will turn out and like all this like deep like inner thing in a relationship would come out like and ruin other people's relationship. I was kind of worried about that.
It's honestly, me and Karen have like...
No.
Me and Sean are open with each other. We don't care.
Yeah, we don't give
Okay,
a fuck.
awesome.
Like, you know, Karen smells sometimes. I deal with it.
I have
I don't
smelly.
have to,
I have
but
smelly
do.
feet, but
But we'll
that's
save
marriage.
that. We'll save that for next week.
Okay, fair. All right.
But
No, definitely. If
you
you need
can
another
not-
guest, definitely message
Oh.
me.
Also, you can't always like keep blaming Karen for smelling if you have like cats who are like literally park their face in your face, their ass in your face. It's
Yeah, I
like
mean, Koda came up
And you name
smelling
them
like
poo
shit
bum.
this morning, so I mean, like he was literally poo bum again this morning. It was stinky. Me and Karen ran off the bed, like we literally jumped out of bed. We're like, no, stink. What a
No,
lovely
definitely
note
late,
to end
so.
on.
But this was honestly so much fun. It's
Thank
like the
you,
first
thank you, thank you
episode
for
I've
screaming
having
done.
so
me.
loud that you peaked.
Okay, I'm just gonna end it here then. Thank you
Thank
for
Alright,
you for
great.
thank you.
listening.
You've got to do a goodbye, Kens. Do a
Yeah,
proper
go
like,
on. You're the host.
What?
Do goodbye.
the
Outro.
Okay, I
host.
haven't planned
The
this,
host.
This is like just still like the first episode. It's gonna get more
You-
refined.
Just do one. Just do a goodbye. Make it do it on the
Do a
spot.
good
Go on.
outro.
Okay, let me think. Let me think. What's a good one? Well, this is the Toastie ChatBar. Thank you for joining us, listening. We have our lovely guests, Shawnee eats toast, Carrie eats bread, spicy ramen, and our surprise guest Verdi that joined right in the middle. Follow for next time where we're gonna talk about relationships and
Yeah.
singleness.
Oh. And if you want to sponsor my lovely friend Ken's, absolutely do it.
And follow the artist that drew this lovely animation. Jaslyn. Let me post it again. Jaslyn art. I don't know, I'm gonna put this on YouTube too, so who knows. I'm put it in the description below.
Put it in the description and check out the link below.
Exactly.
If you
Alright.
like the video, subscribe and click the notification link and
Don't
like the
forget to
video.
hit the
I know.
bell.
And follow Shauna
Once
Eats
again,
Toast
thank
too.
you to Manscaped for sponsoring this podcast.
They're not, but
Use code Kens.
Smash that motherfucking like button.
exactly. Alright, goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheers. Goodbye.